Hey, dude, back from church. Just wanted to share today's sermon. Today, Reverend Bush preached, and he preached from Mark chapter 5, verse 27 through 34. And the title of his sermon was From Dilemma to Deliverance. And Mark chapter 5, those verses are referring to the woman with the issue of blood, the woman who has been battling that issue of blood for 12 years. And she heard that Jesus was in town, and she wanted to touch the hem of his garment. She wanted to touch the hem of his garment. And this particular story is so profound in many different ways because of just how awesome and amazing, first of all, Jesus is. Secondly, the faith that this woman had, that she persevered, knowing it was a crowd of people surrounded by Jesus. All she wanted to do was touch the hem of his garment. She didn't want to interrupt what he was doing. She didn't want to stop him from what he was doing, stop someone else from getting to him. All she wanted to do was touch the hem of his garment so that she could be healed from her plague. How amazing is that? I mean, look at the world now. Look at our situations. We go through things, and as she heard about Jesus, we hear about Jesus, but we still have issues. We still face circumstances that might seem unfair, that might seem out of our control. And when they're out of our control, what do? Is it worth it to just sit around and pity yourselves and wallow in the situation that you're going in? Or are we going to remember what God is and who God is and what he's done before and how powerful he is? You have to do a reference check sometime for yourself. When you're being faced with various issues in life, you have to remember, okay, I was in a situation similar to this, and God showed up, and he showed out. Once I surrendered, once I stopped trying to figure it out on my own, he showed up, and he handled the situation for me. Once I casted my cares on him, I got myself out of the way and allowed him to do what he had to do. It's like, sometimes we have to do that, and sometimes we can't just give up because it's not right there. What's the saying? He may not come when you want him, but he's always on time. We live in a microwave society, so when we have situations, we want God to just, boom, he's not a personal genie. We just want him to, boom, do this, boom, do that, do this. No, sometimes you have to wait, sometimes you have to persevere. Your faith has to carry you through. Had this woman given up 6 years into dealing with her issue, 4 years into dealing with her issue, she would have never been made whole. She would have never been healed because she would have given up. She would have lost her faith. She would have not persevered, and she would have just been like, whatever, it is what it is. But no, she held on to her faith. She held on to the promises of God. She held on to who Jesus is and how powerful Jesus is. She said, no matter what, there's a crowd of people. They've exiled me. They don't want anything to do with me. They don't want to talk to me. But I'm going to go down there in that crowd, and maybe I might just be able to touch the hem of his garment, and he will heal me just from the touch of his garment. And she did that, and she was made whole from her plague. So what does that say for us? When situations come back, we have to look back over our lives and see what God has brought us through, what God has brought us from. We have to look back and be like, if he's done it then, he'll do it again. Just like David with Goliath. He knew he fought a bear. He knew he could take a giant. He fought a bear. Who fights bears? But he knew he could take on the giant because of what has happened in the past, because of the power that God has given to us before. We have to sometimes just encourage ourselves. We're not always going to have someone to be there to talk to us. We might be so low and so isolated from everyone. And that moment in those times of isolation is when we need to cleave to Jesus, when we need to hold on to God and his promises the most, because that's that one-on-one time. And in that one-on-one time is when you're going to find God. In that struggle is when you're going to find God. And if you use your time wisely and not worry about things that are out of your control, things that you can't do, and then you realize what God can do and what he's already done, and keep your faith no matter what the situation is. You have to build your hopes on things eternal. Hold to God's unchanging hand. He's not going to change. His promises are true. He's doesn't lie. He won't lie. So you have to hold on to his promises. One of his promises is that he will never leave you nor forsake you. So no matter what the situation is, no matter how hard life seems, no matter what it seems like everything's coming at you, he's not going to leave you nor forsake you. And if you can't hold on to anything, that should be the number one promise that you should always hold on, especially in the midst of going through something and trying to find that deliverance and trying to find that healing and that lifting of the burden. Hold on to that. He will never leave you nor forsake you. One of my favorite verses, cast your cares in the Lord, for he careth for you. No matter what the situation is, if you give it to God, if you surrender it, that's the problem. That's why we don't get the deliverance when, we should be getting it. It's because we're so busy holding on to trying to do it for ourselves. The world tells us you gotta make it. If you can't do it, it's America, you can make it anywhere, but you gotta be able to do this and do that. Okay, sometimes some situations are completely out of your control, out of your hands. This woman's issue with blood was out of her hands and out of her control. Once she realized, hey, I can't do this on my own. I need God to step in and to do this because he is far more powerful than I'll ever be. So that's what you have to do. Surrender your situation and surrender your issues to God and let him be God. That's the problem. We're trying to do things on our own power, but there's no room for God's power if you're filled up with yourself. That's why less of me and more of you, God. Less of me trying to do this on my own. Less of me trying to handle this situation. Less of me trying to fight this battle, fight these demons on my own, but more of you because I need you. The reason why the woman was able to be healed because Jesus healed her, but because her faith. You cannot please God without faith. The problem is too many of us are walking around here expecting God to do something, but we're not having the faith in him to do it. We're just like, well, God's going to do it because he's God. Well, do you believe that he'll do it? Do you believe that he'll see you through? Do you believe that he'll step in your time of trouble? Do you believe that? Are you just saying, well, whatever happens, and if God's going to do it, he's going to do it. But are you going to believe him for it? She believed Jesus for that healing, and she got that healing. Her faith made her whole. Her faith made her whole. Is your faith going to make you whole, or is your lack of faith going to keep you in your circumstances? Is your lack of faith going to keep you in your dilemmas? That is some good stuff. God is just so amazing. You guys, encourage yourself. Hold on to God's promises. Hold on to his word. Hold on to the things that he's capable of. And if you can't recall a situation, which you should be able to, but if you can't recall a situation where God has delivered you or brought you through or saw you through, go to the Bible. There are so many people that God has stepped in. Come to me. I can tell you some situations where God has delivered me out of. And if he can do it for me, he will do it for you. But do you have the belief, do you have the faith to believe that he'll do it? Are you going to surrender yourself to him and let him do what he is going to do? Let God be God. Let go and let God be God. Such an encouraging sermon today. Such an amazing service today. I just wanted to share that with you all and hopefully encourage someone on this journey of life. We are not exempt from issues and trials and tribulations, but we do have an almighty God. We do have a Lord and Savior that will keep us and get us through these situations, but we have to give our situations to him, and we have to believe that if it's his will, things will be done in the time and in the manner that they will be done. We have to trust God. We have to believe God. We have to have faith in God at all times, no matter the situation, how big it is, how small it is. God is the expert of doing impossible things. He specializes in doing the impossible. So if you don't think your situation can be done, you're sadly mistaken because God can do all things. And you can do all things through Christ that strengthens you. If you believe, greater is he that is within you than he that is in the world. But you have to allow him to be in you. You have to allow him to move. You have to lower yourself, decrease, so that he might increase. So I just hope that did encourage someone.